Hello, everyone. Welcome to week two. We're going to be talking about researching organizations and evaluation of credible resources here for PowerPoint 2A. Just have a couple quick things that I want to mention to you and make sure you fully understand as you're reviewing the slides. If you'll click over to the third slide, it says researching an organization. Basically, this kind of gives you you'll see two big boxes on different aspects that you can look at. We're probably used to doing more internet-based research as far as, looking at a company's website. If we're researching that company, looking at some of the reports that are available. That's the most common way to research it. But we're actually, and while those can be really good information, and you can get great stuff off a company's website, what I'm going to suggest to you is to do use the library to use some electronic databases that will make your search 1,000 times easier, and you're going to find resources you never knew existed. And it's very, very user-friendly. So you'll see it says LexisNexis. LexisNexis is something that you use for more legal research. I'm a lawyer. I graduated law school, and I use LexisNexis like you wouldn't believe. So I think it's something that you can use, especially if you're looking for legal analyses. PsycInfo and ABA Inform are other ones we're going to talk about that can give you some good information. If you click over to slide 4, you can see some more different types of sources. You can see 3 boxes: periodical, non-periodical, and electronic documents. Review those. That information, it'll kind of give you an overview of what different types of sources that you can use. And again, your research paper will have to identify several different types of sources, and this will kind of start giving you some ideas on what you can use. Let's talk briefly about evaluating websites, which is slide 6. If you can see, there's 5 bullet points on how you evaluate a website: the accuracy, authority, objectivity, currency, and coverage. Those are going to be the main keys that you look at to determine what a good website is. So as far as accuracy, basically, is information correct, precise, and truthful? If you are trying to research Walmart and you look at somebody's personal Facebook page to get information about Walmart, maybe they're telling the truth, but maybe they're biased and kind of look at things a little bit differently. Maybe they don't like Walmart and they want to post some bad things about Walmart. So, Walmart's website would be a great place to go for accuracy with what's correct, precise, and truthful. So that'll kind of talk about accuracy. As far as authority, you want to look at, is it somebody that people trust, and can you look at it as credible and a certain degree of expertise? So, for example, if I'm researching a legal case, well, as you mentioned me earlier, LexisNexis is like the leading authority when it comes to producing legal cases. So if I find a case in LexisNexis, I can be pretty sure it's accurate, it's reliable. LexisNexis is the expert in the field, so I can be assured that that's really a strong authority. For example, on the one kind of funny thing that we get a lot of is with Wikipedia. I use Wikipedia all the time. I'm not going to lie. If I'm watching a movie, I'm like, God, I've seen that actor before. Where was he in? Then I click on Wikipedia and it can tell me. So Wikipedia can be a wonderful thing, but when you're doing research, you want to utilize it as little as possible. And the main reason is I'm sure most of you know, Wikipedia can be edited. Anybody can go in and edit it at any time, so you can't always assume it's the most reliable. It could probably provide you a good starting point and be able to provide some good information, but you don't want to rely on that as your sole source. So be careful of Wikipedia. Objectivity is another key point. Basically, you want to look at, is a source biased? If you look at slide 11, you can see some different things, like the Huffington Post, which tends to produce a little bit more liberal type news, and then you have Fox News, who tends to produce more conservative type news. So again, these are sources. If you're writing a paper, and you want to quote Fox News, that's all well and good, but again, could they be biased? Could they be looking at it from a certain perspective that could make your results not as objective? So something you always want to consider is the source itself. So if, for example, if I'm writing a paper on guns, for example, the NRA, the National Rifle Association, could provide us some good examples, but they're a very pro-gun organization, so they might be biased that way versus a group that maybe might be anti-gun. Again, you could get good information from them, but again, consider the source because it may be biased one way or the other. Currency is always another big thing that you want to look at because, again, some sources are great, but they're so old, are they even relevant? I did a research paper one time when I was in law school and found a really great source in the paper I was writing, but it was from 1912. Now, funny enough, the information still was relevant. I was able to use it, but most sources from 1912 probably not the best you can do. So the more newer, usually the better, because again, they tend to be a little more accurate. And finally, on coverage, you want to do something that's much more broad if you can. Anything that's complete and comprehensive. So if you're writing a paper on Walmart, for example, well, if somebody who a professor at a university who did a full analysis, they probably did a pretty good job of researching and making sure everything is accurate. So again, somebody's tweet about Walmart, for example, might not be the best source because it's not complete, it's not comprehensive. So again, these are just some things that you want to look at when you're evaluating what sources that you use. Again, I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have about sources, whether when you're working on your paper, if you see a source and you're like, I'm not sure if that's a good one or not, and you review the things we just talked about and you're still not sure, call me or send me an email. I'd be happy to kind of walk you through it and let you know how I view that source, and we can go from there. Have a great week, everyone.